Are the Bears really going to be in the Super Bowl this year? Probably not. We all know that. But there's been some interesting movement on the betting lines regarding the Bears, and it turns out a lot of people are now betting on the Bears to win the Super Bowl. Do we think it's possible? Yes, I guess, but not really. But bettors seem to think it's going to happen. The Bears have reportedly boosted their Super Bowl odds the most this offseason so far. Based on data from Odds Checker, since free agency opened, over 26.2% of bets were placed on the Chicago Bears winning the 2024 Super Bowl. At the end of February, DraftKings had the Bears listed as a plus 8,000 long shot to win the Super Bowl, with only 4 teams ranked below them. So it turns out the Bears are being bet on. Now, this could just mean nothing. It could be a whole trap by Vegas, and I'm not a big betting guy myself. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to spend your whole life savings on a big bet like this, but I will say it makes sense. And what really this whole thing shows is that the whole league is catching on. And that's what I love about this. Whether it comes true or not doesn't really matter. Maybe for some it will if they make a lot of money off it. But more than anything, it just shows the level of professional respect and the level of awareness that everybody around the league sees and knows what the Bears are about to do, what they're doing, and where they've been going. People weren't doing this last year now, were they? When the Bears fired their GM and head coach, brought in a new GM, new head coach, were trying to build up Justin Fields to be who he is today. I didn't see anybody back then spending a lot of money and betting on the Bears to win it all. But for now, this year it's happening. There's a reason why. There's a reason why people are projecting the Bears to be better. And this goes all the way back to expectations. And this is why I say it shouldn't be a 6-11 moral victory type year in 2023. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, oh, we're happy with winning 5 games. It's 2 better than last year. No. With the moves you make, with the money you spent, with the players you're going to draft, it's time to think big for 2023. It's not just me saying that now. The bettors are saying the same thing. It's time to think big. There's respect. There's money being exchanged. People who know a lot more about football than me even are not just expecting the same old for the Bears in 2023. Bettors who really check up their numbers and scour over stats are saying the same thing. It's not going to be another 5 or 6 win season for the Bears. Not going to sit here and tell you they're going to win the Super Bowl. I never said that either. I said maybe 2024 would be a year in which we should expect big things playoff-wise. But this year, you have to admit, 10-7 is not a reach or a stretch. A lot of these bettors are going to bet on the Bears for the Super Bowl. As the year moves forward, they're going to cash out their bet early and just make a profit on it. It's like a stock. It's like betting on the stock market. Same thing. They're going to bet that the odds go from a plus 8,000 to a plus 4,000, double their money and get out. And that's fine. But it goes to show you that people are taking notice. People understand what the Bears are doing. People see this is going to be a season of recovery and a season of moving forward for the Bears. A year in which it could be 9-8, 10-7, could be a wild card, could be a divisional round appearance, championship round appearance. We don't know, but we do know that there are things to be excited about for the Bears. We do know that the NFC North, in my opinion, is still wide open. And nobody could tell me otherwise. I know Detroit is the favorite. That's actually true according to a lot of betting websites that you're going to look at, and that's fine. Detroit certainly deserves that sort of recognition. They took away David Montgomery, which we're going to talk about in the next segment. They have Jared Goff, who, when healthy and when the right system is around him, is certainly capable of good things. They have a high-powered offense, and they've improved their defense a bit. Detroit is the favorite, for sure. But that doesn't mean the Bears can't make some noise this upcoming season. Jordan Love is going to have to learn on the job, like Justin Fields did last year, really 2 years ago, but even part of last year. Jordan Love, is not going to be Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to come out of the scene throw for 50 touchdowns and lead his team to a division win. It's just not going to happen. Jordan Love and the Packers are going to have to learn, and it's going to be a pretty miserable year for them, frankly. Minnesota is the big question mark. I mean, last year they had the same point differential as they did when they fired Mike Zimmer after going 8-8, or 8-9. So what are we really going to see out of this NFC North division? And that's why it makes sense for teams and people to bet on the Bears. Why not? The Bears have gone out. They've made big moves. They still have the number 9 overall pick. Their picks relegated for the following year. They have DJ Moore. They have a number 1 wide receiver. Then they have a couple of 2s in Darnell Mooney and Chase Claypool. They have Justin Fields, who's primed for a big breakout in year 3. They have a somewhat improved defense. After a couple of signings, though, it looks better. They still have the draft to come. The Bears, on the surface, on paper, if everybody plays according to their capabilities, according to what they've done already in the National Football League, they're going to be a 10-7 team. Mark my words now. I've said this already. I'll say it again. 10-7 should be the big goal, the lofty expectation for the Bears in 2023, and that's not unfair or too much or out of this world. I'm not saying fire Ryan Poles if they don't go 10-7, but I'm saying you've spent a lot of money. You're drafting high still. You've made moves, trades. You've signed people. Time to see some results, especially if Justin Fields is primed for a breakout, like everybody says he is. And I don't know if that's true or not, but I do expect a better year than last year, and last year was good. Wasn't horrible. I expect a 92, 93 passer rating. I expect 20 touchdowns passing, maybe 510 rushing, maybe 1,000 rushing yards, 3,000 passing yards. That's not out of the question to me at all. I do expect a better defense. I do expect weapons for Justin Fields. We see him right now. Unless DJ Moore completely crashes or maybe gets hurt week 1, you're going to have some stud wide receivers ready to catch the football. Darnell Mooney's going to be back and healthy. Got Khalil Herbert running the football for you. I mean, there's potential offensively for this Bears team. There's no reason why you can't go 10-7. I'll say this every week we have a show if I have to really pound it in everybody's head, because it's true. 10-7 should be the expectation. It should be the norm. I'm not ready to say, hey, I'm happy with 5 wins. I'm happy with 6 wins, or they're still developing. They're still developing, but the era of rebuilding, the era of tanking is over. Time to win. Now. And all these things that bettors are doing behind the scenes that no one's really talking about supports it. Based on data from OddsChecker, since free agency open, over 26.2% of bets were placed on the Bears winning the 2024 Super Bowl. At the end of February, DraftKings Sportsbook had the Bears listed as an plus 8,000 long shot to win the Super Bowl. So at the end of February, the Bears were a plus 8,000 long shot. Only 4 teams ranked below them. Now, over 26.2% of bets were placed on the Bears to win the Super Bowl. So they go from being near the bottom, which is understandable, to now a lot of people are putting a lot of money on the Bears to win. They're going to be better than 3-14. I can guarantee you that, at least. And if they aren't, then I would say, hey, maybe people should be fired. Not even kidding. The Bears go 3-14 again. Well, goodbye Matt Eberflus, goodbye Ryan Poles, goodbye everybody. But we should be expecting 9 to 10 wins. We should be expecting a wild card appearance. This division's wide open. A stud Hall of Fame quarterback is leaving, supposedly. Maybe. We'll see. Things are going to be different. The Bears have made moves. They've made changes. They've supported Justin Fields. They have a draft still to come. These odds and what these bettors are doing makes sense. And we do need to notice and follow these trends. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know betting or you should do this or hey, I got an inside scoop. I don't. I don't even bet. But I do know this. Where the money goes, that tends to be where things go during the season. I do know that. And if people on the side, not really publicizing it, are betting on the Bears, you have 26% of all bets have now been on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, something's up. It's no coincidence to me. Something's up. People are seeing something, and we all see it. We all know what the Bears are doing, but people outside are really seeing something about this team. They're looking at this team on paper. They're seeing what they've done this offseason and what's to come still. They're seeing the potential in Justin Fields for next year. The Bears are not going to be a run-of-the-mill type team this season. I just don't see it, and I can't fathom it. This is going to be an improved year. This is going to be a year in which we will see success on some level. Not interested in a moral victory this year, and you shouldn't be either, Bears fans. Not interested in seeing 5 or 6 wins and seeing the Bears doubled their win total in 2023. Or like they said with Matt Nagy before they fired him, he never went under 500. Why are you firing him? Come on, really? Till the last year? If anyone under 500, then it was time to fire him? No. Don't listen to the spin of some people in the media telling you that you got to be more patient, that there needs to be more time, that things need to further develop. No. This isn't a construction project. The Bears have spent enough money and have done enough within one offseason to turn this entire team around. We don't have to wait 5 years to see the fruits of their labor. This is going to be a year for success. We got to start noticing it and holding them accountable. And the bettors are noticing it. Whether it's being publicized or not, it's happening behind the scenes. People are betting on the Bears to win the Super Bowl, ironically enough. And whether they're doing it because they want to cash out later or they genuinely think the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl, whatever it is, doesn't matter. The fact is, people are betting on the Bears to be better than last season. The Bears' odds right now are so low because of last year's record, what's going to happen this year. So people are saying, hey, you know what? The Bears are going to be better than 3-14, which they are. They might even be better than 6-11, 7-10, which I think they could be and should be. So people are taking note, and it's happening. And we all got to take notice as well. It's going to be a new era in Bears football. This year marks the beginning, truly. Rebuild's over. Not going to sit here and justify a 7-10, 6-11 record. It's time to see results, and I think the Bears are on that right track. And as far as we know, the betting market says the same. It's time for success. It's time for action. I think it's going to be coming in 2023.